Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. I hope you're doing well. I have been tagged by the lovely Pat at Book Chat with Pat. This is the BookTuber Bio Tag. And so this is an original tag that was created by Jessica's library card, who created it to celebrate her first anniversary on BooKTube. As Pat mentioned in her video, Steve Donahue, amongst several others, recently did the tag. They urged everyone in the community to do it as well. Steve said it underscores the idea that new people are discovering channels every day, and that this tag serves as a way station where new subscribers can go learn about who we are. Pat was tagged by Steve Donahue, and Pat tagged me in her video, as well as made some lovely comments and, embellished about my contributions to BookTube. But I digress. There are 9 questions, and the 10th being sharing some information about channels that we enjoy. And so we're going to kick this off. The BookTuber Bio Tag. Question number 1, who are you? Share a little bit about yourself as much as you feel comfortable. Well, my name's Kevin. I'm a Sagittarius. No, I am an Illinoisan. I have been born and raised in Illinois. I am in my hometown from where I grew up, and my wife and I have been married going on 25 years. And so we have 3 children. We have a granddaughter. Life is very much about our family, and we both are readers, although my wife reads primarily on her Kindle. I read more in physical and audible forms. But yeah, I was an athlete in my younger years. I golfed a lot. I'm an avid runner and walker, and I really enjoy reading. I am one of those type of people that picked it up later in my teens and enjoyed it for a while, and then had, life happening, got married, had kids, and kind of put it on hold. And now I'm kind of back into it, full force. So that's a little bit about me, at least what I'm comfortable sharing with you. Question number 2, how long have you been on BooKTube? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm coming up on a year. I started at the beginning of March last year. And so I'm actually doing a live stream this Sunday evening, and I have a post up about it. I'm going to do a live stream and kind of talk about, my first year on BooKTube, what I've kind of learned, although some of the questions here, delve into that. But what's going well, what's not, hasn't gone so well, maybe other pitfalls to avoid if you're new, and just in general, open it up to, people to ask questions and whatnot. So definitely check that out if you get time, Sunday evening. Question number 3, what kind of books do you love to read? Has BooKTube had an effect on what you read? Yes, I read primarily fiction, but YouTube has definitely had a huge impact on my reading preferences. And I'll give you 2 examples. Nonfiction, both Steve Donahue, Bob at Robert G. Reader Books, both have kind of pushed me into some nonfiction reads, and it's been worth my while. Nonfiction definitely isn't like my go-to, but it's definitely pushed me to read some things outside of my comfort zone. And I'm currently reading for a live stream on Friday, In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrick. Really enjoying it. I'm slowly making my way through The Emperor of Rome by Mary Beard because of Bob. Steve pushed me into reading some nonfiction last November for that event. Hyde and Reed, Thomas from McNulty Book Corral are 2 other booktubers that kind of pushed me into Westerns. And so I've really enjoyed Westerns as of late. Reading Louis L'Amour has been one of my favorite experiences in the last year, for sure. And it's because of being on BooKTube. So great question. Number 4, what do you enjoy about making BooKTube videos? Well, there's 2 things. I started this on Facebook and then migrated to YouTube just because of the fact that I knew a lot of people weren't going to listen to what I had to say, but I wanted to speak in front of a camera and to work on that because I think speaking is a lost art, especially with the younger generation because of texting and everything else. And I think people need to learn how to converse in front of a camera. I specifically did it because I uh, counted myself doing the every 5 seconds. So that was one of the big draws. The second being, as you can see, the second being, I am always looking for that perfect video where everything comes out eloquently. I speak well, I present well, and I'm still kind of chasing that. I kind of attribute it to my younger days when I played a lot of golf. You know, you always played golf and it was a tough sport, but you were looking for that one great shot that would always keep you coming back. And I kind of get that sense with BooKTube in a way. I'm trying to do that one great video, and we're going to talk about a good one that a couple questions down, but I'm looking for that one great one that's going to keep me coming back for more. Number 5, what do you not enjoy about making BooKTube videos? It's pretty easy. It's time away from reading, really. Making videos can be a lot. You know, when I first started my channel, it was just basically I record, upload, and it was easy. And there's other booktubers that do that, and it works well. And I kind of miss it at times, to be honest with you. And then I started dabbling in some video editing, get a little more technical, adding different things, and it's evolved over time. But there's a lot of time involved, you know, but I enjoy it. So it hasn't got to the point where it's like it's starting to become too much. There's been some kind of flags here and there, but the time away from reading, it definitely is one of the things. And as Pat mentioned in her video, you know, with me pumping out 7 to 10 videos a week, yeah, that's a lot, and it cuts into reading time. You know, and so instead of reading 3 or 4 books a week and pumping out 3 or 4 book reviews, now I maybe pump out 2 book reviews a week because I'm doing tag videos and short stories Saturdays and other things, which is fine. I enjoy those too because I think it adds variety to the channel. But I do miss going back to the days where it was just record and upload, and I was just focused on just reading books and doing reviews. So, number 6, what video on your channel are you most proud of? And that's without question my book review of The Tommyknockers by Stephen King. And the reason for that is I felt like it was my most passionate book review. It was one of those books that I had on my short list to complete reading all of Stephen King's works. And it was one of those Stephen King books that was very decisive amongst his constant readers because it was very polarizing. There was a lot of people that either disliked it or they really liked it. And there wasn't a lot of in the middle. And so I was very apprehensive about reading it, and I wish I wouldn't have. And it was one of those books, along with several other authors and genres that I've tried over the course of the last year. I wish I would have started sooner because I really enjoyed it. And it really came out in my review, and I felt like it was really, really well. If I had to pick a second place, you know, I would say some of my Harry Potter reviews were pretty good. I really felt passionate about my read through of those 7 books as well. So, number 7, is there anything you wish was different about BooKTube? I wish it was easier. I wish it was less time consuming. I wish, from a creating, watching, listening, commenting, I wish it just takes away from time from reading. I wish it was easier, quicker. That's the one thing I wish was different about BooKTube. The clicks can be the clicks. I would say that too. You're going to get that with anything. So I don't really think I can, I could say that and throw it out there, but it's not going to change anything. Number 8, name 3 books you have reviewed on your channel that you feel represent who you are as a reader. And I have 5. I couldn't limit it to 3. But obviously, I'm a huge fan of series and thrillers and fiction. I recently started the first couple books of Harry Bosch's series, really enjoying this. I want to get back to it. I just have so many series I'm trying to read, and I keep starting new ones. But there's just so much I want to read. Westerns, like I mentioned, reading the Sackett series with a bunch of guys on the wagon train and girls. And so that's been a lot of fun, and Westerns have been, a new go-to for me. I'm a huge fan of pulp noir, Ed McBain, the 87th Precinct series. I love hard case crime, pulp noir novels. I want to try some John MacDonald soon. Probably next month, I'm going to probably get one of those going because I want to try the Travis McGee series. I know Joshua at Joshua Reads Books. We've been trading emails talking about it. I definitely want to get into that. Short stories defines me as a reader. I love short stories. Obviously, it's why I have Saturday Shorts every Saturday, where I talk about a couple short stories I read during the week. I really love short stories. And then last and certainly not least, but fantasy, sword and sorcery, I really enjoy that as well. Reading Conan and getting introduced to that was a huge thing. Robert E. Howard's writing is so good. But just fantasy genre overall is really, really, really good. I really enjoy a lot of it, even the subgenres, whether it's grimdark, urban fantasy. Those define me as a reader. Number 9, name 3 booktubers whose content inspires you. Well, that's pretty easy. I mean, Pat at Book Chat with Pat, she's such a wonderful person, a great friend. Bob at Robert G. Reader Books, the books he reads, we've become friends. I don't read what he reads regularly, and so I really enjoy his takes and his insights. Both Bob and Pat come from teaching backgrounds, and so it comes through in their videos, and I just find them fascinating. And then Steve. I mean, I like Steve Donahue because, again, he's one of those people that reads so much, so there's so much to uncover and learn about. But at the same time, I like Steve because I think he's unapologetic in his videos, and it comes across like, this is the way it is. And I admire that. I think, there needs to be more male figures who read, and I think there needs to be more male figures who are unapologetic when it comes to what they're reading and why and what their feelings are towards books. And so I really appreciate that from Steve. I think you can check out The Perfect BookTuber. It was my 3rd original BookTuber tag, and I created my perfect booktuber, and these 3 people are part of that, and there's others in there as well of channels that I aspire to if you want a longer list. And number 10, share the love. It can be challenging to find your audience. Name 3 booktubers who you think need more hype. That's pretty easy for me. Brian from Adventures in Literature, fantastic channel. Brian's a great guy. Really enjoy his channel. John from Must Read More. I think John is a fantastic booktuber. Ted from Ted Read Instead. I think Ted is another great. Comes from a teaching background. He has a lot to offer. I think his editing's really well. He's started this Discord. I really think Ted has really good intentions about growing things in BookTube, and so he's going to be a cornerstone, I think, in years to come. Logan from Novel Insights, another one who has a background. I think it lends itself to really good stuff on BookTube. And then Tim from Secret Fire Books. He's a published author. I really enjoy Tim. I think he's a great human being. Plus, he reads a lot of sci-fi fantasy stuff, and I think that's another genre that's really big on BookTube. And I think he's just funny. And so it's just refreshing to watch his videos. But that is my take. I would suggest, if you're seeing this, to go ahead and do this book tag. I usually tag a bunch of people, and I'm going to put some people down below in the description. But overall, this is a long video, so I'm not going to list 50 people like normal. I'll put them in description. Hopefully you do this tag. Thanks again to Pat at Book Chat with Pat for tagging me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks.